Hello, good morning friends. Welcome back to your favorite channel Code One Digest. Today in this tutorial, I'm going to create a Shopify custom app that we can install into multiple store in a given organization. Yes, friend, in this tutorial, creating a Shopify custom app from scratch, and I'll show you how can you install it into multiple stores. So stay tuned and watch this tutorial till end. It is going to be very exciting and very informative video today. Okay friends, so here is the agenda of this tutorial today. I'll explain you what is Shopify apps, what all different type of Shopify apps we have, what all different type of Shopify custom apps we have, what is the prerequisite for this tutorial. Then I'll explain you our custom app architecture to install in multiple stores. Then we'll create a custom app in partner account. We'll also create a development store in partner account. I'll also show you how to create NestJS application for our custom app because I'm using NestJS as a backend framework. You can use Java or Node.js framework as per your convenient. Then we'll install our custom app into a Shopify development store. We'll validate the OAuth flow. Once we get the access token, we'll make call to Shopify admin API using that access token to get product info. Right friends? So all these things I'll show you step by step. If you want to learn Shopify, if you want to learn custom app development, then this is a tutorial for you. I'll show you step by step how to create a custom app in details. Okay friends? So watch this tutorial till end. Okay friends, so let me explain you what is Shopify app and why do we need it. Shopify offers you an e-commerce platform and that is completely black box for you. You may have a custom requirement that Shopify platform may not be offering, right? Any customization, any modification you need that you take in form of custom apps. Then we have to create a custom app where we extend the Shopify functionality and modify that in form of custom app. Assume custom app is the extension of your Shopify e-commerce platform where any customization and every customization you do in form of custom apps. So to access data, you need a custom app. If you want to change your order journey, you need a custom app. If you want to do any action when the user is created, then you need a custom app. Custom app helps you in getting access to the Shopify data as well as to add a functionality which is not provided by Shopify out of the box. Okay friends? Now let's understand what all different type of Shopify apps are available. So there are two main category of Shopify app. One is public app and one is custom app. Public app are the apps. Those are listed and available in Shopify App Store. So any merchant can download and install that app into their store. When you create public app, it has to go with Shopify app approval process. Okay, second type of app is custom app. This app we build exclusively for a specific Shopify store for a specific merchant and will not be listed on Shopify App Store because this app you will be creating for a specific merchant, a specific client for a specific store. Now there are two types of custom apps that you can create, right? First is embedded custom app that you can create directly from your admin console. So the embedded app can only be used in single store where you create it. So if you create this app into a Shopify admin console, then that app will only be available, will work only for that particular store. You cannot use that app into any other store. One advantage of this app is we don't need any OAuth flow requirement and access token will be provided as you create the custom app in Shopify admin console. But you may have a requirement where you create one app and use it for multiple stores in your organization. So let's say big organizations are there, big retail organizations are there where they run multiple e-commerce stores, let's say for each country. So in Europe, there are multiple countries, right? So one is store for Germany, one is store for Netherlands, one is store for Italy, and so on, right? So it's one organization, but you have multiple stores. So in that case, if you want to use same custom app for multiple stores, then you have to create non-embedded custom app, and this app you have to create in Shopify partner account. So when you create a custom app in Shopify partner account, then you have to implement OAuth flow. That means you have to authenticate the installation request. That installation is happening in an authentic store. So in this tutorial, I am going to cover non-embedded Shopify custom app. Right? We will be creating a custom app in partner account. In my previous tutorial, I have already created a custom app, embedded custom app. If you want to see that tutorial, go and watch the tutorial. The link is given on your screen and also given in the description section of this tutorial. Go and watch that video if you are looking for embedded app. But if you want to create custom app for multiple stores, then follow this tutorial. Let's proceed in the tutorial now. Okay friends, so here is a prerequisite for this tutorial. What you need is a Shopify account. If you don't have, you can create a free account. You need a Shopify partner account to create a custom app. That also you can create for free. And you would need any server-side application framework, be it NestJS, Node.js, or Java development experience. And then you should also have an ngrok installed in your local machine for tunneling, okay, for testing purpose. A Shopify custom app architecture, what we are trying to achieve today. The very first thing what you need is Shopify partner account, where you will be creating a custom app, right? And then we will create few Shopify stores in a given organization, and we will install the custom app from partner account into these stores. As you install custom app into respective stores, it will make call to our custom app project that is running on cloud or on premise with ngrok tunneling, okay, so that this app is accessible on internet. So you run this application either in local with ngrok, or you deploy that on cloud. As you install the custom app, the request will come to your app for OAuth flow. Your custom app will authenticate the store and also request for access token from the respective store and save that into DB. Now in database, how that will store? This is a very basic table. You may store multiple information as well. You can see we have a store column where we are saying store 1, store 2, store 3, store 4, and the token. We will save the respective token here, right? Now let's say a user logs in into store 1 and wants to use your app to fetch the product data for store 1. Then this particular token will be used to make API call from your custom app. But let's say user logs in into a store 3 and wants to fetch the product data for store 3. Hence, token 3 will be used from this custom app to make call to respective store. Right friends? So this is the architecture, a very basic architecture. One custom app we are using for multiple stores in a given organization. So we'll understand now how this Shopify store do authentication, how OAuth flow will work, how to get access token from the Shopify store and save it into DB, and then how to use this access token to fetch the data from Shopify store. So all of that we'll see now. Friends, before we proceed in this video, I request you to subscribe this channel to grow Code One Digest family. Friends, I am creating a lot of quality videos on programming, coding concepts, design pattern and design principles, cloud and container technologies, but I'm not getting subscribers. I request you to like, share and subscribe this channel so that I can grow our Code One Digest family. Thank you. Okay friends, so now you have to log in into Shopify partner account. Okay. And then this is the home screen of your partner account. In the partner account, now we will be creating our custom app. Okay, you come to partner account, log into your partner account, Shopify partner account, and come to app, click on app. Now you can see that all the apps that you have created are listed here. Let me show you how to create the custom app. Shopify offers you two options to create custom app. You can go for CLI or you can create manually, right? In this tutorial, I am showing you how to create custom app manually. So I'm clicking on create app manually. I'll say code app for multiple stores. Let's create. So here is my client ID and client secret, and save it because I will need that later. I have copied my client ID and client secret. We will come back and provide our app URL, our redirection URL, because this will be used for our OAuth flow. So we'll come back to that. So the app is created and we have the API key and secret. Now we will create one our development store. Okay friends. Click on the stores, create development store. Click on add store, and then you will have option to create a development store. So I'm saying create a store for a client, code custom app demo, right? So I've given the name COD custom app demo. Select online, say no, yeah, and then click create development store. So it will create a development store for me, and it will take me to the admin console of that store. Now we'll use this store to install our custom app. Click on this to see your store. I'm saving the name of my store as well. So click on this icon to see your store. Yes, so this is my store, development store. So now we have created custom app and we have created a development store. Now it's time for us to create our NestJS application. Okay friends. Okay friends, so now I've opened a terminal where I'll be creating my project directory and I'll be creating a NestJS project. So let me do that. mkdir, I'm creating a project directory, code custom app demo. You can choose any name, you can give any name. Name is not important here. Now let me check if I have a nest command available. Yes, I have. So now I'll create nest new code custom app demo. Okay, I'm creating a project, NestJS project with this name. I'll select npm. So now it is creating a NestJS project structure for me with default module, controller and service classes. So it will be creating a project structure for me. It is always recommended to create NestJS project with this command so that it gives you a project skeleton with the required files. Okay, and then you can add new controller, new services, new module into it. So it is creating for me. Now we will be extending it and adding our custom controller and services into it. Okay friends, let me load this project into my Visual Studio Code and then I'll show you what is the next step, how to add our custom code in our custom app. Okay, I've loaded that project in my Visual Studio Code. That I have package.json file with all the default dependencies that we have. We will be adding all required dependencies into it, and then it also comes with src folder with main.ts, appservice.ts, appmodule.ts, AppController.ts. As I said, we'll be adding our custom component in source folder now. NestJS Axios and NestJS config. We will need Axios to make API call to Shopify admin API. So we'll see that later. So I will need these dependencies. Now what I'll do is I'll install these dependencies because this is not installed. Let me go to my terminal. Let me clear this. And now I'll say, let me go to project directory. Now I'm in a project and I'll say npm install. So it will install all the required dependencies as per the package.json file. Okay friends, so installation is done. All the dependencies are installed. We have installed the dependencies, required dependencies. Now let me show you my .env file. You have to create a .env file to provide certain information, and I am defining 3 attributes in this .env file: API URL, that means our app URL. Okay, we'll provide that because we will be running our application in local and we'll be using ngrok to create tunnel. So we will provide our ngrok URL here, and I'm creating a variable Shopify app proxy key and proxy secret. So this key and secret we have to provide from our partner account, the custom app that we have created, right? So take those key and secret and provide it here. Let me do that. Okay friends, so I have provided my proxy key and secret here. We want our application, our local custom application, to be available on internet. Hence we'll use ngrok. I'll show you that. But for now I have just kept localhost 3000. Okay. So now let me show you a file that I have added, configuration. So this configuration file is the file where I am reading the value from environment file. Okay. So here I am reading what is my port. If I don't define a port in environment file, then it will be 3000 will be used by default. Yeah, here also I have given my API URL, that is localhost 3000, and this is important, Shopify app proxy client ID. So client ID we are reading from our environment file, that is process.env, Shopify app proxy key that we have given in env file, and same way the secret. And the very most important thing here is the scope. The scope we have to define in advance in our custom app when you are coding, that what all scope are required. So whatever scope you will define here, the same scope will be shown at the time of installation. When merchant user will install your app, so they will see that your app is requesting for read customer, write customer, read order, write order, and write product, read product. So you have to give this permission appropriately. So access token that we will get will have permission to access this information. So this is a configuration file. Now let me show you my controller file. In NesJS they call it controller, where we define all our routes, all our endpoints. So this is my app controller, and the context root of this controller is Shopify OAuth. That means we'll use this controller specifically for store OAuth flow. Okay, in that I'm having a constructor where I'm injecting config service and HTTP service. We'll use these components here, and the very first endpoint that I have is init. Okay, so this will be called, and we'll configure this init in our custom app also. If you remember, I told you that we will do a configuration in custom app. We'll provide app URL and redirect URL later. So this is my first endpoint init. So as soon as an installation request comes from any store, this endpoint will be called. This is my app URL. Okay, and inside that I am preparing a URL, authorized URL, to authorize the store request. So if you see, I'm giving https query.shop, that is the shop URL. Let's say my store.shopify.com, then admin OAuth authorize client ID. This client ID is coming from config service. The client ID is the key of our custom app, right? The scope that we have defined, read product, write product, read order, write order, and so on. All those scopes are coming here, right? And then a redirection URL. Okay, so we'll see the redirect endpoint that we have defined here in the bottom at line number 38. So this is a structure of redirection URL, and at the end I'm returning my response. That means I'm redirecting user to this URL. Now let's understand what is happening in redirect endpoint. So as soon as the user redirects to this URL, this endpoint will get called. When the control comes to redirect, then I'm making call to Shopify Store to give me access token, so that I can use that access token to fetch or to push any information into that store. So I'm making a post call with HTTP that again the shop name that mystore.myshopify.com/admin/OAuth/access token. This is the standard URL of Shopify to request access token. It is a post type of URL and it takes, this is the body of call. Okay, it takes client ID. Client ID is again a key of my custom app. Client secret is again a secret of my custom app, and the authorization code. Shopify will be giving you an authorization code. You have to read it from your query parameter so that they understand that the request is coming from a valid user. They are giving you a code and you will be requesting a token using that authorization code. So they know that we have issued a authorization code and the token request is for the same authorization code. Once this is done, then I am printing here the response, that means my access token, and then ideally I should be saving this access token with the store detail into a database. You should save that access token either in a file or either into your database, as I shown you in the architecture. That is store name plus the access token, so that you can use that access token accordingly. You have multiple stores are installing your application, custom app. They all will get a different access token for different store. You should save the store name and access token accordingly in the table. This is our module class where I have to import some modules like config module so that I can read the environment variable. My configuration file should work. Okay, so I've imported configuration, I've imported Axios, and I've imported config module so that I can read the configuration and I can make the HTTP call to the APIs. So these two modules I have to initialize so that these are available to me at the runtime when controller wants it. Okay, so you don't worry about the code. All the code, controller, module class, environment file, and package.json is everything provided in my GitHub repository. The link is given on the screen and also given in the description section of this video. You can download this project from there and start using it. Okay friends, now I'll start my application and then I'll start my ngrok, and then we'll go back and update the URL in our custom app, and then we'll install our custom app into Shopify Store. Let me do that. And so now let me start my NesJS project. It's time to run my NesJS project. I'll say npm run start dev. So it will start my application. Once the application is start, then we'll run our ngrok. Okay, so application is started successfully. It's saying Nest application successfully started. Let me start ngrok on port 3 so that this application is now available on internet. Okay, so this is my ngrok URL. This is available on internet. So tunnel is created for my HTTP localhost 3000 and it is available on internet at this endpoint. Let me save this. Try hitting. So it says visit. Correct. Yeah. So the second call is coming from our tunnel URL. That means it is working fine. So now our application is up and running and we have ngrok tunnel created. Now we will go and update our ngrok app URL in our custom app in partner account. Let me do that. So this is the app URL that I have created. This is our ngrok URL for our local host, and I have added Shopify OAuth in it as per our controller. Same way I have created Shopify OAuth redirect. So these two URL now will go and update in our partner account. Let me copy this. Let me go to my partner account, configuration. Yes. So this is my app and I have to provide the URL. Any store wants to install my app, this custom app, so they will be hitting this particular endpoint of my app. Very first endpoint they will hit this one. As soon as they will come to this endpoint, then it will redirect that user to this redirect URL, and in this redirect URL I am requesting for a token. Okay, so this is what we do. Now we'll save this. We are good here. Let me save this app. Now next step is to install this app in development store. So for that we need a installation link, distribution link. Okay, so here you have two options. Public distribution, that means it will listed in App Store. No, we are building a custom app dedicated for one organization or one store. Okay, so we'll select this option, and now it will ask me for a store information. So here I have to provide a store domain. So this is my store domain. Okay friends, so this is my store domain, code custom app demo.myshopify.com. You have to give without HTTP and without any slash. Okay, and say generate link. So now this custom app will be working only with this store or with the stores belong to this organization, same organization. Okay, so let me generate a link first. Generate a link. Yes, so this is the link generated. Let me copy this, and now we can go and install this app into our store, in the same store. Okay. Okay friends, so now the installation link we have created, a distribution link we have created for a store. Let me install this. So this is my store admin console. You can paste that URL in the same browser, and it will ask me in which particular store you want to install this. So you have to select the appropriate store, the store that you have given in the custom app. So I have given this store to install it, code custom app demo. Okay, so let me select this store. Yes, so see the request has come. Let me show you. Yes, so this request has come from admin console to install the app to my custom app. If you see, this is the URL I am in it. Okay, and here it is asking for the permissions that I have requested. So it is asking that this app need access to view personal data, customer store view edit store data, that is customer, product and orders, right? As we have defined the scope in our environment file, in our configuration file, right? So now I'll say install. As soon as I install, it will come to redirect endpoint and request for a token, and we'll save that token. We'll use the token later. Okay, let me click install. See, the request came to redirect, and this is the token that I have to save in database. So I'm saving that save. You have to write a code to save this access token. We will use that access token to make call to Shopify admin API to fetch a product. We install the app and we got the access token. Now it's time to validate that access token is working fine and we as a user able to fetch the information from respective store. So coming back to the architecture, if you remember that this is our custom app running, be it on cloud or be it on local or your on-premise infrastructure, user will be calling your custom API, your custom app endpoint, let's say get product, and it has to pass the store and product ID because I want to fetch the product. A store is mandatory. You have to pass from which store you want to request this. Okay, so when the request comes to your custom app, it will look into database for this store. What is the token I have? So let's say store 1. If I pass this as a store 1, it will fetch a token 1 from the repository and create a URL, Shopify admin API URL to fetch the product from store 1 by passing the token 1, by making call to store 1 and get the product and display to the user. So this is how it will work, right? So we install this app on store 1. We got a token from store 1. We have saved it here. Now as a user, I am making request to my custom app by passing the store name and product ID the request will come to API again. It will look into repository, what is the token I have, and using the token I'm making call to my Shopify store and get the product information, right? If this token expires or invalid, then user will get redirect again to a redirect endpoint and a new token will be issued to you, and you have to, in that flow, you have to save the new token and replace the old token here in the same repository. Okay friends, so let us do that now. I'll show you a demo. I have created a new endpoint get product in my custom app in the same controller, but you can write this endpoint into a different controller because this is a OAuth controller. But just for demo purpose, I have created this new endpoint. So now what I am doing is, in this endpoint, I am passing, while calling this endpoint is a get endpoint, calling this endpoint I am passing is store and product information. Okay, so that I am reading it here, query.store and query.product ID. So we'll be making query to this particular store for this particular product ID into Shopify. Okay, so now if you see here, I have hard coded it, but this information should come from database based on your query parameter. So you should go into database for lookup for this store. What is the URL you have? So this is the URL, code custom app demo.myshopify.com. This is the domain of your store for this store, and this is a product ID. So you will be creating this URL by appending a product ID.json. This is the Shopify admin API URL to fetch product from store. This is the store name and this is a product number, whatever we are passing. I'll be passing same product number. I would have read it from parameter, but I have hard coded it here. Now in header, I have to pass a token that we have received in a previous step. The token that we received at the time of installation, this also should come from your database. So you will be doing a lookup into database for this store, get me a token, right, from that table. So that store will give you a token this, you will add it into header and you will be making this get call. So let us run this and see if we are getting response or not. Let me run this, okay, for you. Okay, so this is my application. So here is my URL, localhost 3000 Shopify OAuth, because this is the same controller, and get product is the endpoint. And in the query parameter, I am passing store name, that is code custom app demo, and product number is 847919555203. Okay, let me hit this. Yes, so see, we got the product JSON from that Shopify store, right? And let us see the log. So in the log you can see fetching product for Shopify store this with product this, product ID this, and I'm also printing the product response from Shopify store. Okay friends, that is how you create custom app. You install those custom app and use the token to fetch or to push data into Shopify store. You can use this token to update or to fetch data as per the scope you have defined in your application, right? And this token will work as per that scope. I hope this is clear to you. Let me quickly summarize what we have done. Okay, we created a custom app, then we created a store, development store, then we created NestJS project, we created controller, we defined the OAuth endpoints and redirect endpoints. Once you install this app, you will get a token, save the token into repository and use the token when you get product request from your user. Okay, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, so do subscribe to my channel to grow Code One Digest family. Friends, if you like this video, so give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for the more interesting videos. Click on the bell icon for the latest video notifications, and do not forget to share this video with all your friends and colleagues. This is very useful information for students, beginners, and software engineers. I am putting a lot of efforts in creating these contents, so please help me growing the Code One Digest family. Please subscribe to Code One Digest channel for the latest programming and technology related videos. Thank you.